What's up, everyone? Welcome back or welcome. This is your first visit. My name is Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Well, this is 2027 Chrysler Pacifica that's been refreshed for this model year. On this channel, I review brand new cars. I'm here at the Hanania Palm Coast Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and today I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to see what's changed, what stayed the same, and is it worth to buy this brand new Pacifica? So if you enjoy watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, give me the like, subscribe to it. Now let's get back to this. And here it is, guys, 2027 Chrysler Pacifica. Now, if you see me sweating, because it's one of those days where you see memes from Florida when you get out of the house and by the time you get to the car, you're drenched in sweat. Well, here it is today. Probably about 90 degrees outside with 100% humidity, if not more. But anyways, we're going to get to this particular vehicle in just a little bit. But let's talk about Chrysler and its minivan history, because they first started with the minivans in 1984. There was Plymouth Voyager, Dodge Grand Caravan. That's what started it all here in the United States. And then the first Pacifica was actually 2004 to 2008, but it wasn't a minivan. It was actually a SUV inspired by the Citadel, I think that's what they call it. And they revived the nameplate in 2017 with a minivan as a Chrysler Pacifica minivan, and then we had it, well, essentially almost unchanged ever since, until now. And that's where they changed the front end design. As you can see, it's completely different. So let's dive deep and see what's changed. And here in the front end, we have the refreshed look. So you can see there are different lights. So we have the LED lights, daytime running lamps, and turn signals that are blinking right now. Right below that, even on this fairly base model, you have the projector light LEDs. And here we have this light bar that goes across the entire width of this vehicle with this brand new Chrysler wing that is illuminated. Now we also have this piano keys and the grille, both the front, the top and the bottom, and some black trim. Kind of makes it nice, modern, cohesive look. And if you like the color of it, they call it the red hot chili peppers. No, red hot chili pearl, red hot pearl color. Well, guys, let's pop the hood open and let's see what powers it up. And here underneath the hood, you'll find a tried and true 3.6-liter Pentastar engine that's been in production since, I think, 2010 or 12, with some improvements. Over 10 million or 11 million of these engines were made and put in multiple different Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram vehicles. So people who own them, they know what's good and bad about it. Now, they've improved it quite a bit. Now, we have 287 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, 9-speed automatic transmission. This particular one is front-wheel drive, but it's also available as an all-wheel drive. We also have some sound insulation, the prop stick to hold it all up. Gas mileage, with 19 to 26, and that's a combined 22 miles per gallon. So they also have a hybrid version that's not out yet for 2027 model year, but that's definitely a lot more efficient in terms of the gas mileage. So let's talk about the dimensions of this Chrysler Pacifica. And then we have the total length at 204.3 inches. We have the wheelbase at 121.6. The height is at 70.7 and the width at 79.6. Now this Select trim, being the second from the bottom trim, sits on 17-inch alloy wheels. We have the Yokohama tires, 235 by 65 on 17-inch rim. And we have the blacked out mirrors with the turn signals, blind spot assist. Everything around the windows, as you can see, has been chromed. And then we have the proximity entry system, or actually rather not proximity, but you can lock it or unlock it with pushing the button, as long as the key fob is somewhere on you. And in terms of the key fob, we have the standard Chrysler key fob. They've had it for quite a while. Lock, unlock, twice to open the rear gate, twice to start the vehicle, twice to open the driver's side sliding door and twice to open the passenger door. And then we have the panic button and the new Chrysler logo. That's about the new thing about the key fob. We got this lights on so you can see how it looks from the back as well. And here it is. The gas tank is on the driver's side, and here are the lights. So the lights haven't changed at all from 2026 to 2027, but we do have this new Chrysler wing logo, still an exposed wiper, third brake light, shark fin antenna, and then scrolling down here you have the Pacifica reflector lights and the black bottom portion of the bumper. Let me push twice on this remote to get this gate open. Let's see what's going on the inside here. So your cargo volume, like behind this third row seat, because you have this huge tub, is 32 cubic feet. Of course, that's going to be taken if you fold down the seats. And you can see there's no spare tire on this vehicle because we have the fix-a-flat. And you can also fold down these things. That's number one. Okay. Number two. And then it folds down. So Stow and Go has been part of Chrysler and Dodge for quite a while. Again, it's easy. Number one, number two, fold it down and be done with it. And here's more space. Now here in the back, you have the 12-volt power outlet. Third row passengers are enjoying their own cup holders. There's some ventilation and illumination there. What I don't see are the chargers. What are the kids going to do without the chargers when their iPads run out? All right, well, I'm going to get in the third row seat and see how much room there is there. Guys, getting in that third row seat. Now we can do it the easy way or the hard way. The easy way, of course, it's going around and going in between the seats. The hard way is getting the seat moved, which is not that hard anyways. And it is extremely humid outside, so I apologize. I'm sweating profusely here. But folding down the seats, moving it all the way back, I still have about 2 inches in front of my legs. I have about 3 inches above my head and plenty of shoulder room. Now, this is a vehicle that I can see myself taking a longer trip rather than some of the 3-row SUVs where you're really limited, especially on the knee room here. I'm 6 feet tall for the point of reference. And let's check out what's going on with these seats. And it's because they have this, what they call the Stow and Go system, similar to what we've seen in the back. These seats are not removable. However, you can hide them underneath the floor. The way you do it, first of all, remove the floor mat if there is one. Underneath here, there is this cover. Okay, and you gotta lift it up and prop it with something, like your knee, maybe. Anyways, there's the Stow and Go feature. You pull it up and you push the seat all the way down. Boom, get in there and move this back up. Guys, we're done. No seat. Okay. So this is how that Stow and Go works on this Chrysler Pacifica. That's been a big seller for them. And let me jump inside that remaining seat, see how much room I'll have. And here it is. 6 feet tall. Get in the seat. Yep. Enough legroom, headroom, shoulder room. I feel comfortable here. All right, so I got the seat back up, and let's take a look and see at the seat itself. So this is the black leatherette on this particular one. We have some perforation in the middle, some contrast stitching, also an armrest. And look, like nothing happened, right? We have the floor mat back on and all that stuff. Now, in both of the seats, you'll find the seat back storage, this netting right here, and we also have the USB Type-C and the USB Type-A. And then over the passenger side rear seat, you have your own climate control settings. So you can set it up, adjust it. You know, you can feel the air coming out of right now, much needed in this hot and humid day. And for the passengers, you also have the sunshade. That's a manual sunshade. And the ability, of course, to open the door right here. You have the lock. The lock is here, and the window button cup holder on the side. And here's how the door opens. And there's more cup holders in case you were wondering for these rear passengers that are part of this console. Now the passenger seat, this is manually adjusted. I like what Kia does. They actually have a button on the passenger seat that the rear passengers can move it front and back. I think that's a pretty cool option. They can learn from that. If they combine all the best features from all the minivans, they would have a great minivan. Let's check it out and see what's going on there. As always, before we get inside, let's listen to the sound of the closing door. It's not bad. That hasn't changed from the last generation. The front door panel. So we have the softer touch material that gives in a little bit, which is nice. Even on this fairly base model, we have 2 memory seat settings, window mirror lock controls. There are no foldable, power foldable mirrors. We have a bunch of little nooks all over the place. Speaker. The driver's seat is power adjusted, including the 4-way lumbar support, a little bit more bolstered than the front seats. And we have this space right here. If you're not sure where to put your umbrella, that's where it goes. And the pedal box, nothing special. We have the lever to open up at the hood, and then we have the light controls as well. I'm going to leave it in auto, dimmer for your lights and the height of the lights. Let me jump inside. I'll show the rest of this interior. And as always, we're going to continue this tour with the sound of the closing door from the inside. Okay, it's not bad. And here's the interior of this 2027 Chrysler Pacifica Select. Now, I don't think that anything's changed over here, with the exception of this new Chrysler logo, the wing that we've seen in the front and in the back of this vehicle. The steering wheel is very thick. I actually like it. It has some contrast stitching. I do not think it's a leather that it's wrapped with, maybe that leatherette. And then we have a bunch of controls, up, down, scroll, and then okay. On the right-hand side, this is your cruise control. You can also adjust the gap for the adaptive cruise control. And then we have this. This is your instrument cluster. So 2 regular gauges, right? We have the regular speedometer and a regular tachometer. And in the middle is where you can make some changes. So you can see the driver assist, and then fuel economy, trip info, stop start feature, audio, messages, screen setup, and back to speedometer. So vehicle info, of course, there we go here. Now, if you go to vehicle info, you can also go side to side, and that displays some more information as far as different temperature, wattage, all that stuff. And what stays on, it's your temperature, your miles to empty, your direction to where you're going, fuel gauge, and the temperature gauge. Everything else you can be changed inside of it. All right, so this could be updated, to be honest with you. Surprising they haven't done that while they were doing this refresh. And here we have the 10.1-inch screen, and that's running this Uconnect 5 system, which we've done several reviews of. So I'm just going to touch on this and see what's going on. This is your home screen, and right now basically you can see that you can open up the media, and in terms of the media you have the different sources: FM, AM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth. Okay, go back to the home screen. You can add device, your phone. You can add, I believe, 2 phones that are active to this vehicle. There's your climate control shortcut, and then you can also go to the shortcuts through here. As you can see, front and rear, different configurations. You can adjust both of them. You can put the phone in. I'm not going to do it with mine. In the vehicle, you have controls and settings. And then you can scroll down through the many options and make some adjustments as needed. And then you can, of course, download some of the apps. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, both wireless connection. That's pretty cool. Big fans. I actually like that they're blowing cold air at me right now. I've been filming in this humidity and hotness. All right, so this is your shifter. We're going to throw it in reverse to see this rear view camera. And I believe there are 2 things. There's a screen protector over here. It kind of gives it a little bit an off look. But the camera, it still feels, even if we remove that screen protector, it looks somewhat grainy. So, I mean, I would like to see an improved rear view camera for it, but it does take the entire screen, so that's the good news. Put it back in park, and what else we have? Volume, power, tune, scroll, and we have some shortcuts in here. You can turn off that start-stop feature on your engine, parking sensors off, lane keep assist off, traction control off. You can mute, you can turn the screen off if you don't like your hazard lights, and your actually manual climate control. Well, this is an automatic climate control, but what I'm saying is that you can adjust your temperature, and you can see that showing up here. Even with the screen off, whatever you do, that's going to show up on the screen here. adjustment of the fan, etc. So we can turn the screen back on, and then once you do that, you can also do it through here if you prefer to it, or if you like to do it the old school way. Here it is. Down below, 2 USB Type-C ports. I believe this is a charger for the phone. Is it? Maybe not. Okay. And here is a little bit of storage in the middle. More storage, a deeper shelf here. This is not a charger, by the way. And this is not a charger. And then we have more storage down here, 12-volt power outlet. We have the evolution of the Chrysler Minivan. You can see from the right, from the old Voyager Grand Caravan through the newer generations all the way to Pacifica. And we have more storage underneath here as well. Cup holders. And does this thing do anything? Open up? No. We have the regular glove box if you need more storage as well. Here in this base trim, the only thing you'll have is essentially you'll have your sunglasses holder, the ability to open both doors. You can also turn off that automatic or the power feature on the doors. You have your lights here, home link system, and the mirror with some illumination. And this is it. This is the interior of this 2027 Chrysler Pacifica. Well, let's talk pricing, take it for a spin. And in terms of the pricing, LX is the starting point for the Chrysler Pacifica, $41,495. Only available in front-wheel drive. Select, which is this one, $43,545. If you go to the all-wheel drive, $46,540. And the next trim up, $47,995. All-wheel drive, $50,990. Pinnacle trim, $56,305. That's the Big Daddy, $59,300 for the Pinnacle trim. Now the Pinnacle trim is loaded, and I really want to come back and do that trim because I've recently done a Sienna that was loaded up, also a Carnival a few months back. So I want to compare apples to apples. This particular one, total MSRP $46,035. The only thing that's been added to it is the Red Hot Pearl Coat exterior color. Let's take it for a quick spin. Take that quickly on the road. Backing up, that camera thing would really probably bother me. So just for clarification, I went outside. I wanted to see if there's anything on that camera itself that makes it blurry, and there's not. So, I mean, this is just the system that they're using. Kind of sad because I know that they have a better camera system. They use it in some of their other products. So hopefully that's going to be addressed because that's something that a lot of people use. It's a safety feature as well. Now, in terms of the drive, we're going to go really quick around the block. We're not going to go for a long test drive, but I want to see how this vehicle handles in terms of turning. So there is a space here. Let's see if we'll be able to make like a full, complete U-turn with it in this fairly narrow parking. And yes, we do. Now, 204 inches long. That's a pretty long vehicle, if you ask me. It still maneuvers pretty well. And then we're going to go quickly on the road and see how that handles here. Now, I don't think there's going to be any changes. It's the same engine, transmission. There might be a few new safety options, which, by the way, if you go to like a Pinnacle trim, you get this video blind spot assist, which we don't have it because we don't have these side view cameras. You also don't have the power folding mirrors. There is like an active blind spot, I believe, on the higher trim levels, which is not available on this. So in terms of this Select trim, it's essentially the brand new front end and the updated logos from what I can see. So if you don't mind the look of the previous generation Pacifica, the 2026 model year, and if they have deals on it, listen, you know, I'm not saying you what to do, but if you don't mind the look of the other one, can save thousands of dollars, then you go for it. At least I would. So in terms of the drive, you know, this is why a lot of people choose minivans, because they're so good to drive. We have the long wheelbase, we have the low center of gravity, we have the easiness of getting in, fairly soft suspension, and that's why this would make like the cross-country trip very enjoyable. So we're going to check out the acceleration, even though it's not the most important thing while looking at the minivan. I'd rather much have, you know, the ability to store stuff in the back, which we do. The stow and go seating is great, especially in this middle row seats, that you don't have to remove it. I had a Honda Odyssey a couple cars back from what we have right now, and the seats were removable. The only problem with it, they're really heavy. So anytime we needed to go on the Home Depot run, at that time we were remodeling the house and need to bring, like, I think it was the Pergo flooring that we were bringing in or something like this, and we needed to put those in. We had to get those seats up, about 40 pounds plus each seat, and kind of awkward to remove. So I like that stow and go. I think that feature is great, and the easiness of folding the seats in the back as well. So that's, I think the Chrysler's got that nailed better than anybody else. In terms of the features, you know, the screen here, there's no fully digital instrument cluster. Now that's either like it or hate it. Some people don't care. Some people are very much into it, but it's just pointing out that, you know, they don't have the latest, greatest technology on this. But the drive itself is nice and quiet. There's very little noise coming into the cabin. Matter of fact, the only noise that I hear is from this rear vents that are going right now. It's super hot, so they're working overtime to get this vehicle cooled off, which they're doing a very nice job. So that's another thing. If you are looking for something that has this huge interior, you want to make sure that it has a good AC system, and this one definitely delivers on that part. We're gonna stop in a moment and see how this vehicle accelerates. So right guys, I mean, we're in the minivan. I stopped. Let's go. Naturally aspirated, good power delivery, got it up to 60. No issues. You won't have any problems merging in traffic, keeping up with traffic. I'll tell you that. Now, if you are familiar with the history of the minivans, there was one minivan at one point, but some people consider the minivan, others not, but it was a Mercedes-Benz R, and I had the R-AMG version of it. That was something else. That was the performance minivan, just food for thought. And if you look up like the older Honda Odysseys, people used to tune them, put like spoilers on, kind of a strange looking ones. And then of course the Odyssey has a sport version of it, which, you know, really nothing sporty other than a few trim pieces. But yeah, that's kind of to make people feel better about their choices of getting a minivan. I talked to several people and they said, you know what, since the invention of the 3-row SUV, we're not going to be buying minivans anymore. And buying it, probably not. However, you know, if I was to go for the cross-country trip and I needed to pick a vehicle, the minivan would definitely be at the top of my list because of the ride quality and enjoyment of driving it. So let me know what you think about this 2027 Chrysler Pacifica. Unfortunately, I expected a little bit more of a refresh. It looks like they just put a lipstick on it, and this is exactly the same vehicle. Let me know your thoughts, guys. If you like this video and you found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give me a like, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.